Hi, I'm Elise and welcome to Which Way. I'll be taking you through this month's Witch Watch recommendations. First up is The Queen of Black Magic, an Indonesian horror from 2019. A group of people return to the orphanage they grew up in, with their families in tow, to say goodbye to the ailing man who raised them. Secrets from their past are revealed and their lives are now in danger from the Queen of Black Magic. I liked some of the practical effects in this film and the story up until the reveal, where the motives fell a bit flat. So the first 2/3 gets 2 stars, then this finishes as a 1. This is actually a remake, so I of course had to check out the original Queen of Black Magic, the Indonesian horror from 1981, where a woman is accused of practicing black magic and thrown off a cliff. Though she is found by a man and tended back to health, he also teaches her black magic to exact her revenge on those who wronged her. There are some hilarious 80s practical effects in this one, and again, some of the motives go awry, so this one finishes up with 1 star. Now last year I watched the Blair Witch Project for the first time, so I thought I would finally give the sequel a go. Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2 from 2000. This horror follows fans of the first film going on a walking tour of the route that the original group took, not taking it too seriously until none of them can remember what happened during the night. They head back to base and try and figure out what happened, but they seem to have brought something back from the woods with them, and they turn against each other with only a few making it out alive. I was actually reluctant to watch this movie because of the amount of crap that it got, but I'm going to give this 3 stars because I would actually rewatch this film. Moving away from horror, next up I watched Sorcerer's Apprentice, the fantasy action film from 2000. For centuries, a sorcerer has been looking for Merlin's successor and finally finds him. Now he needs to train him in magic to finally defeat the sorceress Morgana and her followers. I loved the actors, action and comedy in this film, and I've already watched it multiple times, so of course that means it gets 3 stars. Teresa Palmer makes an appearance in this film, and many of you would now know her from A Discovery of Witches. But there are many reoccurring witches here. Drake Stone, portrayed by Toby Kebbell, also played the Archmage Antonidas in the 2016 Warcraft movie. Victoria, portrayed by Monica Bellucci, also plays witch in 2021's La Befana Vien de Not 2 as Dolores, Finnegan from 2018's Necrotronic, and the Evil Queen from 2005's Brothers Grimm. Alice Kriege, who portrays Morgana, also portrayed Haruspex in 2019's Carnival Row and the Witch in 2020's Gretel and Hansel, which you would already know if you have seen my Witches of Hansel and Gretel films. If not, go and check it out. Next I watched The Shamer's Daughter, a Danish fantasy drama from 2015. Shamers have the ability to look into a person's eyes and see everything they are ashamed of and are called on by lawmakers to determine the guilty. But when they see something they shouldn't, they are shunned and condemned, like this shamer. Her daughter, who also possesses this gift, knows the truth and must expose the secrets of a powerful family to save her mother and the lives of many others. This is a beautiful film, very Game of Thrones, and I loved the concept of the shamers, so I give it 3 stars. There is also a sequel, so I will have to check that one out next month. Next, I checked out some old stuff and some new stuff, but let's start with the classics. I Married a Witch, the 1942 rom-com, has a father and daughter witch duo resurrected. After centuries trapped in an old oak tree, they are now back and intent on sowing chaos. The witch daughter is intent on revenge against the bloodline that denounced her, seeking to make one of them fall in love with her to then break his heart. She accidentally consumes the love potion she made for him. She will now do anything to make him hers, including stopping her father's witchy plans. This is a cute film, though very predictable and hasn't aged well, so I give it 2 stars. Though this next film is timeless. The Wizard of Oz, the iconic family adventure film from 1939. A young girl is caught up in a tornado and hurled from her Kansas farm to the land of Oz. In this strange land, she steals a dead witch's shoes, and on her way to meet the wizard who can help her return home, she meets a lion, a tin man, and a scarecrow. To prove their worth to the wizard, they must steal the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West, so they murder her as well. This film is adorable and stands the test of time, so I'm giving it 3 stars. Margaret Hamilton, who portrayed the Wicked Witch of the West, actually reprised her iconic role in Paul Lynde's Halloween special. She also makes an appearance in the original 13 Ghosts from the 1960s as the medium Elaine Zacharias. Now for the new. Hellbender, the 2022 horror film, follows a mother and daughter who live a secluded lifestyle, apparently because the daughter is sick. She finds this is not the case, and her mother reveals that she, like her, is a hellbender, someone who can feed off of the fear in the blood they consume. Their bond grows as mother teaches daughter, but have the years of lies already done their damage, and how will she handle this new power? I loved the soundtrack and really liked what they did with this film, a witchy coming of age where mother teaches daughter, which you don't often see. So I'm giving this film 3 stars. Finally, we come to King Knight, the 2022 comedy. A member of a modern Wiccan coven has his past catch up with him when it's time for his 20-year high school reunion. His coven disowns him, and he goes on a journey of self-discovery to learn to accept all parts of his life and face his biggest fears. Oh my gosh, this film was hilarious while also sticking to actual practices. It pokes fun, but I loved the characters. I almost gave this one 3 stars, but sometimes it is a bit dumb, so I will stick with 2. Ah, hell, I'll give it a 3. With all of these movies, I didn't really get time to watch many series, but I have finally made my way through The Vampire Diaries, so expect a Witches of video coming soon for that one, and I have started on the spin-off series, The Originals, before I can finally make it to Legacies. There has also been a podcast I've been meaning to share for a while though. Real Magic, hosted by Jessica Mason, is a podcast at the crossroads of real witchcraft and Hollywood magic. She delves into witch films and is also a supernatural superfan, having written The Binge Watcher's Guide to Supernatural. So much so, she even had Ruth Conwell, who portrays Rowena in the show, as a guest star on her podcast to discuss the series. And now my monthly book recommendations, which comes in the form of the Bone Witch trilogy by Rin Chupeco. We hear the life story of the powerful but banished Dark Asha T. Asha are powerful magic users that influence the elements and court politics. Dark Asha can manipulate the dead and are the only ones who can stop monstrous creatures from rising from their graves to rain terror. Sometimes they are called bone witches, as they are also feared because they can be taken by the same dark power they wield. The world the author created is beautiful, and the Asha brought to mind geisha in the way that they take on apprentices into different households and teach them all of the same etiquettes and arts, but these geisha are also taught how to fight and harness their magic. That's all for this month. Let me know what you have been watching and reading, as well as any recommendations for my witch lore reviews. Like, share, and subscribe to this video to keep me going and to stay notified of new content. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.